Welcome to Storytime, where soothing tales guide you into peaceful slumber. Tonight's journey, Chronicle of a Night Beyond the Veil, will carry you into a realm of serene mysteries and dreamlike calm. Let the story cradle you gently into rest. The night began like a gentle sigh, as if the world itself were settling down to sleep. The air shimmered faintly, cool and fragrant, carrying whispers of dreams waiting to unfold. Nestled in a secluded grove, hidden from the touch of time, stood an ancient stone archway covered in vines that glowed faintly in the moonlight. It was called the Veil, though few dared to speak its name aloud. Legends whispered that it was not just an archway but a passage to a realm beyond, a place where dreams and memories flowed freely, and the worries of the waking world dissolved like morning mist. On this particular evening, a young dreamer named Elara found herself standing before the Veil. She had wandered far from her village, driven by a longing she couldn't quite name, a desire for something more, something unspoken. The stars above sparkled like tiny guides, their light weaving a path through the dense forest to this quiet, sacred place. The veil seemed to hum softly as Elara approached, its vines shifting as though alive. She hesitated, her hand brushing against the cool stone, and for a moment, she closed her eyes. The world around her grew still, the hum of the veil resonating deep within her chest, like a lullaby from an ancient time. Taking a deep breath, she stepped through. The moment Elara crossed the threshold, the air changed. It was softer, warmer, and filled with a faint golden glow. She stood on the edge of a vast meadow, the grass shimmering like threads of silver in the starlight. Above her, the night sky seemed closer, its constellations larger and more vibrant, as though they were painted onto an infinite canvas. She walked slowly, her steps muffled by the soft earth beneath her feet. The meadow stretched endlessly, yet she felt no fear, only a profound calm that seemed to settle over her like a blanket. In the distance, she saw a tree, its branches stretching high and wide, glowing faintly with an inner light. Beneath it, a small table was set, as though waiting for her arrival. Elara approached, her curiosity piqued, but her mind at ease. The table held a single teacup, steam rising from its surface in lazy spirals. Beside it, a book lay open, its pages fluttering gently, though there was no breeze. She sat down, the chair beneath her fitting her form perfectly, as if it had been made just for her. The book's words glimmered faintly, and as she leaned closer, she realized they were not ordinary words. They were fragments of her memories, playing out in soft, glowing images on the page. She saw herself as a child, chasing fireflies under a summer sky. She saw moments of joy, of laughter, and even moments of sorrow, but they all felt distant now, softened by the glow of the veil's magic. As she turned the pages, the images shifted, no longer bound to her past. She saw places she had never been, people she had never met, yet they all felt familiar, as though they were echoes of dreams she had once forgotten. The teacup before her warmed her hands as she lifted it, the liquid within tasting of lavender and honey, its warmth spreading through her like a gentle tide. Time seemed to drift, unbound by the rules of the waking world. Elara felt herself growing lighter, her thoughts slower, as though the veil's magic was pulling her into its embrace. The meadow faded, replaced by a soft, golden mist that swirled around her. Shapes began to form within it, floating islands, shimmering bridges, and rivers that glowed like liquid starlight. She wandered through this dreamscape, her footsteps soundless on the ethereal ground. Everywhere she looked, there was beauty, trees with leaves that chimed like bells, flowers that opened and closed in rhythm with her breathing, and creatures that glowed softly as they drifted through the air. One of them approached her, a small, fox-like being with eyes that sparkled like gemstones. It gazed at her silently, its presence calming, and then it turned, beckoning her to follow. Elara walked behind it, her movements effortless, as though she were floating. The fox led her to a quiet glade where a pool of water lay still and untouched, reflecting the endless sky above. The creature nudged her gently toward the water's edge, and as she knelt to gaze into its depths, she saw something extraordinary. The pool was not just water, it was a mirror to the soul. Within its surface, she saw her own reflection, but it was different. Her face was serene, her eyes filled with light, as though she had found a part of herself that had long been hidden. The fox sat beside her, its head resting on its paws, as if to say, "This is who you are." As the night wore on, Elara felt herself growing drowsier, her body and mind surrendering to the gentle pull of sleep. The dreamscape around her softened, its colors fading into a soothing twilight. She lay down in the glade, the grass beneath her as soft as the finest silk. The stars above shifted slowly, their light dimming as though they, too, were drifting into slumber. The fox curled up beside her, its warmth a comforting presence. Elara's eyelids grew heavy, and she let out a deep, contented sigh. The last thing she heard before sleep claimed her was the faint hum of the vale, a sound that echoed like a lullaby across the endless night. When she awoke, she was back in the forest, the vale behind her, silent and still. The world around her was bathed in the soft glow of dawn, the birds beginning their morning songs. Yet Elara felt no urgency to move. She sat by the vale for a while, her heart calm, her mind clear. The journey beyond the veil had left its mark on her, not as a memory but as a feeling, a deep, unshakable peace that she carried with her as she rose and began her walk home. Thank you for joining me on Storytime. Tonight's tale, Chronicle of a Night Beyond the Veil, was a journey into a realm of serene mysteries and endless calm. May its whispers guide you into the sweetest of dreams. Until next time, sleep well and dream deeply.
Thanks for your time. Please subscribe. Don't forget to press the bell icon for more.